Hi, my name's Mia. I listen to a lot of records, and today I want to talk about the most important one in my collection. Please give a very warm welcome to the album that completely shattered this band's sound, Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino by the Arctic Monkeys. The cover was designed by the band's frontman Alex Turner and was inspired by a picture of the Lunar Hilton Hotel designed specifically for Stanley Kubrick's 2001 A Space Odyssey. Turner made the model himself out of cardboard and the tape recorder he used to record demos. And this little hexagon up here represents this being the band's sixth album. Arctic Monkeys consists of Alex Turner on vocals, Matt Helders on drums, Jamie Cook on guitar, and Nick O'Malley on bass. The album was released on May 11th, 2018 on Domino Records, following the band's 5-year hiatus after their smash hit AM. Alex Turner also went back and recorded an album with his side project, The Last Shadow Puppets. I absolutely adore this album. It's one of my favorite things Turner's ever done. He also went on to produce Alexander Saviour's debut album, Belladonna of Sadness, with longtime collaborator James Ford. After that period, Turner experienced writer's block and lost interest in writing the traditional love songs he was so used to writing. Inspiration returned while watching Federico Fellini's 8½, a film about creative paralysis and reconnecting with his childhood love of science fiction. Early demos were recorded in the spare bedroom of Turner's LA home under the working title Lunar Surface. When he presented the songs to the band, they were initially shocked by the dramatic shift in sound and even discussed Turner releasing it as a solo album. But ultimately, recording started in September of 2017 at Vox Studios in Hollywood and co-produced by Turner and longtime producer James Ford. The record is a concept album about a fictional luxury hotel entitled Tranquility Base, located at the site of the 1969 moon landing. Through satire and stream-of-conscious lyrics, the album critiques fame, technology, consumerism, politics, and modern life. Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino's tracklist is as follows. The album opens with Star Treatment, in which Alex is the washed-up lead of the in-house band of the Tranquility Base named the Martini Police. He makes a metaphor for how idealized celebrities are never seen up close, like the light of a star. One-point perspective is a way of crafting shots with close-to-perfect symmetry. This composition draws the viewer's eyes to the focal point within the frame and absorbing them into the scene, and manipulates them into telling them exactly where to look. This was used by Stanley Kubrick, who, if you can recall, inspired the album cover. The song itself is about how the dreams of people have as children are often interrupted by life, like a conversation. American Sports is about a dystopian future that an American living on Tranquility Base lives in. He compares present-day obsessions to the habits of the moon's residents. While the track is closely related to Star Treatment, this one has more of an open and external monologue. Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino is the title track and formally introduces the hotel. In an interview with Radio X, Alex described Golden Trunks as, quote, a conversation between myself and someone that I'm falling for. The character in the song who I'm singing to, that's something from her imagination that may have come out of her sense of humor. Side 2 opens with 4 out of 5. It describes advertising for the hotel and casino. The listener is invited to come and relax at the resort and basks in its luxury. The hook also details the meaning behind Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino's location, and the space-themed narrative begins to unfold. The world's first ever monster truck front flip describes people's obsessions with cell phones and technology. He talks about how, though it makes life easier, it's probably making us dumber in the process. Science fiction is supposed to reflect the direction of our world and how those compare to science fiction movies. She Looks Like Fun is about how people often don't police themselves on social media because of anonymity and end up sharing rude and unfiltered comments they wouldn't typically say in the real world. A bat phone is a business's private phone line whose calls take priority over other channels. This song, like every other song on the record, is a criticism of technology. The album closes out with The Ultra Cheese, a slow, smooth ballad about reminiscing on Alex's past, his music, and its impact on his life, mainly focusing on the isolation that living in LA has brought him, or on the moon as a famous rock star. Now, what are my thoughts? Well, I'm so glad you asked. I am the firmest believer that this is the Arctic Monkeys' best record. I think the Arctic Monkeys' best records come right after a hiatus. It doesn't matter how long it is, just a hiatus. Whenever Alex goes back to the Last Shadow Puppets, or starts the Last Shadow Puppets with his friend Miles Kane, the band's sound always shifts. We went from whatever people say I am, that's what I'm not, and Your Favorite Worst Nightmare to Humbug, which sounds not drastically different, but at the time, drastically different from the two albums. And the same thing happened with Everything You've Come to Expect and Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino. I always think, a change, and the Arctic Monkeys' sound is good, and I really hope the next thing that Turner does is a new album, because we've had Tranquility Base, we've had The Car, and they sound good. I love The Car. I still have my sealed copy, because I got sent two. Sorry. And I love this album so much, but, I'm always happy to hear it change, and now that they're working with War Child, if you've heard that yet, and they have a new single out, and it sounds kind of like The Car and Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino mixed together, I'm very excited to see what their future holds, hopefully if they do have a future. But yes, I love this album so much, and it's top 10 of all time. I highly recommend checking it out, and thank you so much for checking me out. I hope you have a great night.